This is Twit.
Last week, you know, we talked a little bit about some receiver things that I was playing with, and I got a whole raft of emails from you guys and gals, and I really appreciate it when you tell us what you like, what you don't like. And so I put together a little video, a couple of them, about how to adjust AGC on a receiver. So let's roll this first one. These are kind of the same, but not really. I got an idea from the first one, so we'll do this first and then talk a bit before we do the second one.
When you squeeze it together, it'll fit through the hole, and it snaps in place. That's how it stays there, and you just have to reverse the process. So, okay, the two portions that run vertically before they run inward, those are oriented vertically along with the run of the wire? No, it would be like a T at the end of a piece of wire, except it's two leads that could be squeezed together to get rid of the T handle. Huh? I don't know if I can envision a T. I thought there were two things that went into the hole there in the glass. There is. At the end of the wire is a clip. It's almost like a horseshoe. In fact, it would be a lot like a horseshoe with extended ends on it. So the ends would turn into the picture tube. So it'd come up like a fork, but the tongues would be bent in one direction. You know, a fork with like...
You can hear how slowing down the AGC really helps because it gets rid of the noise, because it holds the signal up and it decays, and it really works nice. And with the ICOM, that was a 7600. It has 3, slow, mid, and fast. And sometimes mid works just as well, but I usually use either slow or fast. Now, here's the next one. And this, again, notice what happens when you lower the RF gain. You know, a lot of guys and gals think, man, I got to have my receiver wide open. Well, it's not like driving a NASCAR, because when you have a receiver wide open, yeah, the S meter's hanging up here and everybody's great, but the noise signal to noise ratio is awful. So let's listen what happens when you properly adjust a receiver, reducing the RF gain, setting up the right AGC, and let's see what happens here. You'll be able to hear it, I think. By the way, it was very noisy this night.
The waterfall already into the software, and the QSPR also has.
Turn off that preamp.
It's quite efficient, but
put in some attenuation.
The smart SDR.
Look what happened to the noise floor.
And if they will do it, and not a ham, they really don't know what they're doing. So you end up with a darn mess unless you're able to be right there with them and walk through every step.
It just comes popping out of there.
Yeah, in my case, I can do everything but climb tower.
If I open it up again,
everything put together.
Can't hardly understand them.
Pull it up on the rope, tie it off, on a standoff or something.
Roll it all off.
Like you said, you'd have to do all the fittings yourself to make sure
it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, only two. There's two I got that are very reliable, and they do know what they're doing. And that's Mac, and I know you've never talked to Neil. K4ESC. Echo Sugar Echo.
Use the RF gain, turn off the preamp, add some attenuation, adjust to the slow AGC, and bingo, you got it. And these signals are not copyable before you do that. And I hear a lot of guys will say, oh, it's too noisy tonight. Well, if you adjust your receiver properly, sometimes the noise can really be subsided. It's all about signal to noise ratio and adjusting that receiver. Because a lot of guys, oh, they want to look at that S meter. I don't care about that S meter. I only care about one thing, what's coming out of the headphones or the speaker. And adjusting that receiver will give you sometimes some really great copy above the noise.